My name's Willie Hill. I'm a retired music teacher. I taught for 35 years in post-primary sector. Mostly classical music, of course, normal classroom teaching and things like that there. But I've also got an interest in these instruments here. Traditional, what we would call Ulster Scots instruments, the fife and the Lambeg Drum. Oh, I must have heard a Lambeg drum from I was no age. My grandfather was the worshipful master of the local Orange Lodge, and around the town of Ballymoney there was a lot of drumming going on in those days. So you would always have heard drums going on at some stage during the year. I mean, people tend to associate drums with the middle of July celebrations, let's say, but there's competitions go on from the end of February until right up into November, weather depending. You've got to remember that 100 years ago, if you were having some sort of a parade or a demonstration, how did you get there? You needed some sort of music, and all there was fifes and drums. I mean, there was no pipe bands really as such, there's no accordion bands, there was very few brass. So you got there with fife and drum. When you put it together with a fife, it's a musical ensemble. You know, the fifes will play the tune and the drums will drum along with it in certain rhythms, and it'll depend where you're from. I mean, round the mid-Antrim area, there's two or three different sorts of rhythms. You'd have single time, you'd have Kelswater time, you'd even Larne time, you'd have Slat time. Then there's tunes which have specific names, like the likes of the Jolly Beggar Man, which is a fife tune. But there's also a rhythm called the Jolly Beggar Man as well. And, you know, and like those sort of tunes, they are folk tunes. Like, they're not what we'd call party tunes, they are folk tunes. And you need to remember too that like, different sorts of organisations use these drums, you know, up until 40 years ago. The Ancient Order of Hibernians would have used these drums. And actually in 2015, they resurrected a drum to take to the parade in Rashark in August. There's even examples of Masonic drums. There's the Royal Black Preceptory. So every sort of parading organisation, if you want to call it that, had fifes and drums to accompany them to their parades wherever they were going. So this is what we would call ordinary single time. The tune I'm going to play is called The Boys of Belfast. Now, I learnt this wee tune, it must be 20 odd years, maybe more, years ago, from a wee man who lived way up near Cullyback, a wee man called Willie Nicol. Willie was a bit of a character. He was one of these wee men, he knew hundreds and hundreds of tunes, and he was well into his 80s the last time I was talking to him, and this was one of the tunes. He said, "Now, young fella, this will be easy for you to pick up. You have to remember that the sound of the drum is very short, it's very clippy and very, very neat. So what we try to do on the fife is to keep the melody moving the whole way, and that's why this sort of legato style of articulation is used when it comes to playing the fife."